What's up, you guys? Welcome to Maverick Approach. Back at it again. We're going to go over Luigi and his whole cryptic thing because I found a lot with that whole thing. Tap in, though. Go ahead, and if you're on X or YouTube seeing this, go ahead and share the live. Appreciate it. Smash the like button. All that good stuff for the algorithm. All right. So let's get into it because there's a lot of moving parts with this whole Riddler, Luigi. Like, it's a real life movie at this point, you guys. Like, it's crazy. Let's just jump into it because there's so much I got to show you guys. So starting with this whole thing, right? So Luigi, he gets extradited to New York. All right. And they have this whole big old just Batman villain over the top. Yeah, turn notifications on. What up, big dog? I see you in the comments. Turn the notifications on all channels, whether you're on X, Instagram, YouTube. I appreciate it. But this whole thing, you guys, with Luigi is just it's a movie. It's really a movie. But hey, we are living in, the moving times right now. Like, this is like we're in a simulation. Okay. Let's make no mistake about it. We are in a simulation. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and share the live. I'm gonna make sure you guys are in. We are live Saturday night. You know how we get down, man. Instead of the club, I'd rather be here. I hope you guys feel the same way because who wants a fucking table and throw hundreds of dollars down the drain for no reason? It just makes no sense to me. I'd rather be going over some shit that matters. All right. Share the live. This is I'll show you the footage as well. I'll go over his extradition to New York. Batman style type of mission that they did. It's way over the top. All right, look at this. So, in New York, that's him right there. All right. Chained up like he's, the newest Batman villain. This is, the whole crew. I don't know why they have so many fucking cops in the first place, and the photo ops are crazy. Isn't this like the best photo ops? You're the only one talking about 128. Yeah, shout out to Donut. We're gonna go over the 128 code. Actually, Donut put me onto it with all the events, but we'll go over it. So that's his Christopher Nolan shot right there. Incredible. Look at these shots, you guys. And this dude, if he is playing out the way he is supposed to be, it's crazy. It's actually, he is the Riddler. Look, like, this is no lie. I'll play you a bit of the video of my breakdown. So let's get into it real quick. Healthcare assassin gets extra Batman villain style escort. Why does this feel like we are living in one big TV show, reality show? Because there's so many moving parts to this whole thing, you guys, and let me bring a few things to your attention. For one, there is a code that correlates with all of this that he left behind on purpose, which is the 286 code. Like, on his X account, he has a Pokemon, which is the number of that Pokemon, 286. Then he gets caught 286 miles away at a McDonald's from the point where he committed the crime. But before he gets caught, he gets on the highway to escape on Route
286. He also leaves a backpack full of Monopoly money, and Monopoly has 286 total pieces to the game. Now, he was doing this to bring light to the 286 denial code in which healthcare providers use, which means if you didn't submit an appeal within a certain time frame, they just deny you with this code. This dude is a modern day Riddler. But here's the weird part. That's not the only code.
Okay, so stop right there. We're going to stop right there because there's another code we're going to get into. But check the 286 code first. Let's do a whole deep dive on the 286 code first, and then we'll break down the secondary code that he actually uses that nobody else caught. So, for one, New York route 286. This is the route he escaped on, right? There it is. This is the exact route, all right? Route 286. Okay? This from New York to Pennsylvania. So put a pin in that. That's number one. Then you go to, there's so many. He actually used Monopoly money. So, and there's a couple of moving parts to the Monopoly part, you guys. I want to bring up a few things. So first, Monopoly has 286 pieces to the game in total. Okay. But he's also showing that there's a monopoly on healthcare. So it's a double entendre type of symbolism type of thing to where he's saying like Unitedhealth, which is the biggest healthcare provider in America. He was saying it was a monopoly on healthcare. So, and let's not forget, do you guys remember that McDonald's just came out with something with they came out with a I believe it was this. I'm not sure if which one it was, but there's like some type of new thing that they just rolled out, like a marketing thing, which is kind of weird too, because he was founded 286 miles at a McDonald's, and McDonald's just rolled out a monopoly marketing scheme. Like, like what is dude on? Like, what is he on? Like, he is 10 steps ahead, you guys. This they rolled this out. Oh no, that's the old one. There's another one. I gotta find it. It might be this one. Let me see if I can find this one. But anyways, they rolled something out. So 286 miles, right? So moving down the line, let's look up Proverbs. Proverbs 2, I believe it's let's see if I can find it. I don't know if it's chapter 2. I believe it's chapter 2. Oh yeah, here we go. Let's see if we can find it. Ah, okay. Now Proverbs 28:6, 286. Proverbs states that it is better to be a poor man who lives with integrity than to be a rich man or to be a rich person whose actions are morally corrupt. And it says this verse emphasizes the value of righteousness over material wealth. Come on, you guys. Come on. The 286 code, like he's on it. So he's telling you in every single way, right? And then you got to remember his X account. Let's go to his X account. I believe it's still up. Let's go to his X account. Yeah, it's still up. Now, what do you guys notice? Off the rip, what do you guys notice? 286 posts. Right there at the top. He has 286 posts. Crazy. Then you see that Pokemon right there? That Pokemon is named Breloom, I believe. Breloom. Now, people are like, well, that's not even a popular Pokemon. Like, who is, like, why? Well, again, with the 286 code. This Pokemon, there it is. Pokemon 286. That's the one he has on his X account. So he's telling all this stuff. He's alluding to that 286 code, to the 286 denial code, which healthcare providers use. 286 code indicates that the claim was denied because the service was not deemed medically necessary. So they use this term in the healthcare field to deny patients. And if you don't have a claim like a repeal or appeal in the time limits for the claim, that those needs won't be met and they'll deny you. So it's like a scheme. All right. And it's all over, people are making the 286 code and whatnot. It's a lot. So I see you guys in the chat. What up? What up? What up? Keep sharing the live, you guys. Somebody said the McRib just came back. I don't know if anything. Yeah, like I don't know if that's something. I love your brain. Your brain is beautiful. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I see you guys in here. So there's a code that nobody's really paying attention to. Now, he had a fake ID. Let's pull up his ID. I might have to go to X to find it, but we'll find it. It might be on here. Okay, here it is. Here it is. You guys ready? Let me see if I can get a clear picture. Okay. Now check this out. This is where it gets crazy. This is where it gets wild. This is the fake ID that he had, right? When he got caught at the McDonald's. And it's almost like he wanted to get caught because he had a countdown on his YouTube and he knew exactly when and where, like how. Dude had a high IQ of 130. He's a very smart guy. He was a tech guy. His background, if you just look into his LinkedIn and everything else, dude is very smart. So for him to be caught with the murder weapon, fake ID on you and all this evidence on you, just pointing to everything you've done, he wanted to be caught for sure. And this is why I call him the Riddler. So check this out. So if you notice his name, Mark Rosario, it's a fake name. Now look at his address. 128 Sherman Place, Maplewood, New Jersey. Okay. Nothing out of the ordinary. Now here's the part where I saw something that nobody else caught. And shout out to Donut for the 128 code. I even showed Donut this. I was like, yo, check this out. I was like, look at his address on his ID, his fake ID. I was like, look at that, 128. He was like, oh my God, are you serious? Blew his mind, right? So let me show you how all this correlates, because he's telling you another whole nother scenario with the 128 code. Now, the 128 code is a very symbolic number. It's linked to a lot of events and whatnot. So let me show you. Somebody said in the comments they wanted him to be caught. No way. He did this alone. Still don't buy him being the shooter. Now, I somewhat believe that. I do think that he's not acting alone. Only because in Monopoly, going back to Monopoly, you can't play the game by yourself. Think about it. He's alluding to all this stuff. He gets caught at McDonald's. They had a Monopoly marketing thing they just launched. He has Monopoly money in the backpack. You can't play Monopoly by yourself. It has to be multiple players. So this is one big game. Okay. So let me show you the 128 code though. So, okay, 128, right? So the first thing, if you guys remember a little scenario called 9/11. So let's take a look at 9/11. Major event in American history. Now you're seeing, okay, what does 128 have to do with this? Well, it seems to be that the first tower actually fell at that time. And it says, where's it at? Let me pinpoint it for you guys. I just found something else too, which is crazy. And I'll show you guys in a minute. But the North Tower, let's see. I want to say it is, let's see if we can find it. I want to find the exact time. Let's see if we can find it. Where is it at? Let's see. I want to say it is, they have the actual time. Planes involved. Did they change this? There's no way they changed this. Don't tell me they changed it. Don't tell me they scrubbed this. There's no way they scrubbed this. Hold on, you guys. We might be seeing something really weird because I just did a video on it. Yeah, it fell at 128 at 10:28. What time did the first tower fall? Let's just Google it because there you go. Okay, they didn't scrub it. At 10:28. Now, you take out the zero, numerology. Zero isn't in a number. I had a whole breakdown on how numbers and digits work. But the first tower fell at 128. Okay. Now, put a pin in that. Francis Scott Key Bridge. You guys remember that? That happened earlier this year. Remember the bridge that fell? Now, what time did the bridge fall? Any wild guesses? The collapse right here, March 26, 2024 at 1:28 EDT. 128 again. There it is. A lot of major events. So even GameStop. Remember the GameStop squeeze that happened a few years ago? Where it was like the big guys versus the little guys and everything else. And this is like with Robinhood and everything else. Now, this is very symbolic as well because it's us versus them. It's the little guys versus the big guys, the hedge funds, the big corporations. He was alluding to this too. It's an uprising. At its height, on January 28th, the short squeeze caused retailer stock price to reach a pre-market value over 500 per share. At its height on what? January 28th, 128. Come on. And who was this with? So remember Robinhood? That was part of the GameStop short squeeze. Now, doesn't this right here? Let's look at some pictures. Doesn't he look like a modern day Robin Hood? There you go. Everything he's doing is right on point. He's a real life Riddler, you guys. Because he's showing us, hey, Robin the Riddler, and then you go back to that Proverbs verse that I just showed you. It's about being righteous instead of rich. Short squeeze with Robin Hood, big guys versus, the little guys. The collapse of the system with the bridge, the collapse of a lot of things like the World Trade Center. All this is symbolic of what he's doing, right? Everything I feel like you're honestly talking about is sleeper cell. Could be. It's very weird that these codes allude to a lot of stuff. So here's another thing too, you guys. This is gonna blow your mind too. So the 128 code, I ain't done. The 128 code keeps going. Leave the world behind. Now remember this movie that came out last year on what? 12/8, December 8th. 128. It came out on December 8th last year, you guys. Now this movie predicted everything that happened this year. And the runtime is even 128. It's 2 hours and 18 minutes. 128 right there. Now, if you remember in the movie, so Julia Roberts was in the movie, right? This is Julia Roberts. She's in the movie. She's a person, main character. Now, her birthday is October 28th, right? 128. Now, her daughter in the movie was obsessed with the show Friends. The show Friends. She was just trying to watch Friends the whole time, right? So you guys know this show, Friends. Now, in the show Friends, Chandler, which is played by Matthew Perry, he actually died on. They actually dated, and Matthew Perry. So Matthew Perry's death date is actually on 128 as well, October 28th, 2023. He dies on her birthday, and they're connected through the show. They actually dated. She was actually a guest star on the show. Again, with the 128. And then, mind you, the movie predicted everything that happened this year. The blackouts, the airplane crashes, you name it, the Tesla recalls, the cargo ship with the Francis Scott Key Bridge, right? So again, with the 128 code. Somebody said that movie was a documentary. Yeah. This movie was a documentary. It had no real ending. It was just there. Like if you watch a movie, it usually has like a conflict, then climax and resolution. It wasn't that. It was just one steady pace of just shit just happening. Like a sign, right? So, anyways, 128. We'll go back because I want to show you guys on my video.
A Batman villain style escort. Why does this feel like we are living
Well, I can't fast forward it, but I'll let it play. But there's some other very interesting things too with not only the 128 code and everything else, but even the lawyers themselves, Luigi's lawyer. Let's look at his lawyer. So this is Luigi's lawyer right here. Let's see if we can find her. So mind you, he's in the same facility as Diddy. Okay. But did you know that Diddy's lawyer and Luigi's lawyer are actually married? They're a married couple. Like, you can't make this shit up, you guys. Like, how is this even a thing? It's wild. Wild times, you guys. So you have all this symbolism with the 286 code, the 128 code. Dude is really going there. We can fast forward it here.
She actress in the movie, her birthday is 10/28, 128. Not to mention, she was on a show called Friends, and the girl in the movie was obsessed with the show Friends. And guess who dies on her birthday, 128? Matthew Perry. If you guys remember, that movie predicted everything that happened this year. And it doesn't stop there. So remember that short size versus the big guys, and it was Robin Hood with GameStop? Yeah, that happened on January 28th, 128, which is even more eerie with this picture right here where he looks like a modern day Robin Hood. So what I think Luigi is trying to tell us is that this whole system is about to collapse. Everything that happened in the movie that he correlated with those codes correlates to the financial system, the healthcare system, and all the corruption that needs to be exposed. And a cherry on top, he's actually in the same jail as Diddy now. This is like Arkham Asylum in there. And I find it funny that we call Diddy the Diddler after the Riddler, who he's like the Riddler, of course. But get this, their lawyers, Luigi and Diddy, their lawyers are married. Okay, that's enough internet for the day.
We're living in a movie, guys. We're living in a movie. You can't plan this any better. So you have a guy who is using codes to showing you every step what he's doing. Like, how is this even a real scenario? And this, again, going back to Monopoly, he used the Monopoly money. He got caught at McDonald's. And there's so much symbolism there. Let's see if they have any. Let's see if they have any rollouts. And these games are rigged too, you guys. By the way, allegedly, but I think they're rigged. Oh, look at that fraud! In 2001, the U.S. promotion was halted after fraud was uncovered. A subcontracting company, Simon Marketing, which had been hired by McDonald's to organize and promote the game, failed to recognize a flaw in its procedures. So they had an inside job. Simon's chief of security, Jerome P. Jacobson, a former police officer, stole the most valuable pieces of the game. Jacobson justified his long-running multi-million-dollar crime at his reaction to Simon executives having rerun randomized draws to ensure that high-level prizes went to areas in the United States rather than Canada. Wow. Although he did not take the stolen pieces to Canada, he began stealing winning pieces. See, even this is rigged. So even this is like, that shows you like the game is rigged, you guys. Because when you look into this stuff, like, it's crazy because it's really rigged. But I digress. But anyways, going back to Monopoly, the game itself, and I got to show you something else with the board as well, because it's something with the board. So the game itself, you can't play by yourself. Somebody else is helping him. So even the spots on the board, you guys, he went from, I believe it was, I want to say, there's a part on the board where he goes from New York to Pennsylvania, then straight to jail. And it shows it on the board. I want to say, let's see. Let's see. Community. And really, this is like the game of life, you guys. Like, this is how the world works. But let me see if I can find another board. So, but essentially, I believe Park Place, I want to say. Let me see if I can find another board. Let's see if we can find another board. It might be an old board. He actually shows his route. Let's put board. See if we can find it. So on the board right here, Vine, you have, let's see, Train Crossing, King's Cross. There is, I gotta find it again, but there's a part to where it shows his route going from, I want to say, Pennsylvania or New York to Pennsylvania, and then it says go to jail. So he's very thought out, because this is why he used Monopoly. And people were like, "What? Like, why would you use Monopoly money in a fucking backpack?" Right? Did we ever see the actual backpack with the Monopoly money in it? Like, did we ever see that? Or they were just telling us? Let me try and find it on X. Make sure you guys share it live. Follow me on X. It's Mav Approach on X. So backpack. I'll put back page. Don't want to go there. So I don't know. Let's see. See, here it is. Like, they have a brand new 2024 rollout. So, but I want to see where the backpack is. The actual backpack. Because they showed us, or they told us, like, did they ever show us the money? I don't know. Interesting. But anyways, you can't play the game by yourself. Somebody's helping him. He's using all these codes. 286128. It's on his driver's license. I even showed you guys, like, with 9/11, how the first building collapsed at 128. But also, I just found something, like, when we were going through it the first time. This is kind of weird right here. Check this out. I'm going to show you. I just saw something else too. It says something about the passengers, which is kind of weird. Let's look at. It said something about the passengers, and Osama bin Laden. You can go down a whole rabbit hole with Osama, but he's actually CIA. I'll say allegedly, but he was trained by CIA. He was actually an agent, allegedly, allegedly. But we won't go down that rabbit hole. It said passengers, and I believe. Let's just look at the passengers. Let's see. We'll just use AI. So let's see. I believe it said. Let's see. Let me fall back. I saw something that said 128, if I'm not mistaken. I could have swore I saw something on that said that. Occupants. What would that be? 92 occupants, and then hijackers. No. I saw something else. I saw something where it said passengers or something. But yeah, I want to say it was said 128, if I'm not mistaken. If maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I saw it. Maybe I didn't. I did see something. Somebody said, how much Monopoly money was there? I don't even know. Does anybody know, like, at all, how much actual money was in the backpack? Anybody in the chat? Because I don't know how much they even said. That was kind of, they were vague about it. Like, they didn't even, like, really say how much money was it in, or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't know. But let's go over some other stuff real quick, too. I wanted to show you guys this. So Blue Sky, you guys know the counterpart to X. It's actually created by Jack Dorsey. It's a left-leaning version of X. So Blue Sky sees surge in new users and child sexual abuse material. Interesting. Swelling number of the decentralized social platform Blue Sky have bought a wave of harmful content, leading to attempts to moderate it. Now, here's the thing, and I posted this. Well, I didn't post this. I commented under. That's what I commented. Uh-oh. Look at the logo. Blue Sky. Their logo is a butterfly. Now, what's a butterfly? Oh, it's a child lover. And it looks just like it, doesn't it? So you have this going on. You have child abuse material popping up on Blue Sky with the logo of the same child lover logo. Interesting. So what is going on over there? And I feel like this is another just psyop type of. I feel like they use these as rings, allegedly. I think they use these as rings, allegedly, to capture certain people. Okay, I'll say that, but that's what I think. So I thought that was pretty interesting because this social media platform it's not even good. And then you have a problem with children now. So I can't even read these 4chan posts because my other video got completely taken down when I read this. So I can't even read these. Like, it's a crazy rabbit hole. If you want to go to my X account, I'll probably post them. I got them bookmarked. But I read that on the last video. Yeah, they didn't like that. They didn't like that at all. Let's go over some money real quick, and then we'll go over the quantum computing too. I want to go over that real quick. So here you go. So there's some PPP loan discrepancies going on. So it says Oprah Winfrey took out 3 PPP loans during COVID. All loans were forgiven by taxpayers. This is wild.
Guess who else with a network of $2.5 billion applied for a $1 million PPP loan during the pandemic? It's an iconic woman. Are you ready? I bet you could guess. You want to guess first? Oprah Winfrey. Yep. Harpo Productions secured a $1 million loan for payroll. Can't blame a woman. You know she lives in California. The prices there are skyrocketing. I want to give you a couple of quotes she says, because she's so iconic. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. And I'm sure you are. It's beautiful. Another great quote. Real integrity is doing the right thing. No one is going to know whether you did it or not. PPP loan is for small businesses. Just saying. Just saying.
That's crazy. And then there's other stuff as well with the loans. So Marshmello, the DJ, he got almost $10 million in pandemic relief grants. And the Business Insider did like a whole breakdown of all these celebrities actually getting this money. So it says, in other words, because Comstock made more than 9.9 million from touring in 2019, he was able to award himself the entire grant. In doing so, Comstock paid himself more than any other musician who received grant money. Comstock's publicist and his manager didn't reply to requests for comment, nor did Macaulay. Artists often paid themselves far more than they paid anyone else involving in putting on their live shows. So yeah, they were running a racket. They're running a racket. You're paying yourself all this money, and it's just like, who has to pay for that? You're already making millions of dollars. You do, taxpayers. Got it. So that's what's happening. And that's the thing. Like, they were like just worried about the small businesses, like running scams. Like, no, these are the people who already got money running the biggest scams. That's crazy. That's wild. And they did a whole thing on like Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, Marshmello, Oprah Winfrey, all these people, man. All these people. All these people. Reading the comments. Yo, that DI thing, call the system done. Get out. Oh, wait, debris falling. Millie, new subscriber. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, sir. But and then Elon, he responded to this. This is going to be really interesting for 2025, you guys. He said, "Well, let's find out, shall we?" And he was responding to this post, basically how deep the rabbit hole goes, right? The little Diddy boat, then a bigger boat with Tom Hanks and Epstein, then the biggest boat, Podesta, Clinton. You guys don't even want to go down the Podesta Clinton rabbit hole. It gets scary. It gets spooky. I don't even want to speak on it, at least not on here. It gets wild. And it has to do with pizza. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. I'll go as far as that. It gets crazy. It gets wild. So I just wonder why he actually responded this. So maybe there might be some information coming out. And, then Nick said, the hammer of justice is going to hit hard. And then Elon said, yes. What is going on? What is going on? This other user said, I wonder how many people who supported Kamala went to Diddy and Epstein parties. And then Elon said, seriously, a lot. So, and then this is what Liz said. Yeah, here we go. I'm not even going to say this. Podesta, Clinton, Tom Hanks, Epstein, and Diddy are all involved in you know what. This is you know what. And she has a whole series. You can go check that out. Man, that whole rabbit hole with like Tom Hanks, and like it's disheartening, man. It is. It is. Okay, this is what I want to touch on. Yeah, I can only go as far because I told you guys like my other video got taken down. So it gets spooky. It gets spooky. Like I came in certain things I came and talk on here. I try to keep it not surface, but just deep enough to where you can go down the rabbit hole a little bit more. But yeah, that whole 128 code, the whole 286 code, man, it's crazy with oh boy, man. Like if he's not working alone, which I don't think he is, and if this is not a show or maybe it is a show, we don't know. I don't even know what is happening. It's pretty interesting though, because Nancy Pelosi, she may be somewhat tied to this whole situation, and you got to do a whole deep dive on that. But let's touch on it a little bit. Fuck it. So, and she just had her hip replaced too, which is here's more information on her. She has a net worth of $272 million. She took out $1.7 million for COVID loans, which was forgiven. While she received this loan, she showcases her $24,000 fridge.
The ice cream
country.
This is
my
chocolate, and then we have some other chocolate here. We just got it restocked, the ice cream
country.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Let's see if I can find something. Nancy Pelosi and her husband have appeared to use an unreported $28 million in COVID pandemic grants to make their personal investments in a hotel product. Damn. I gotta do a deep dive on that one. Oh, there I am. I think let's see. Let's see if we can find something. So yeah, she did make a call option to Palo Alto Networks. I remember that because I did a video on this to where Unitedhealth actually was being investigated by the DOJ, or namely Brian Thompson. He was being investigated by the DOJ for insider trading. They had a data breach earlier this year, which was being investigated as well. And then she makes a bunch of call options to Palo Alto Networks, which is a cybersecurity company who later investigated United Healthcare, and she made over. So there's that. The greatest insider trader of all time, Nancy Pelosi. And then they said, allegedly, that Pelosi, she was gonna get the hammer dropped on her because Brian Thompson was allegedly was supposed to testify against Pelosi. That's what they say. That's the story. So if that is true, is Luigi hired by Pelosi? How does that work? So if this is true, right? Because obviously Brian Thompson had information on Nancy Pelosi. Maybe he was going to expose her. He was going to an investor conference or a business conference. They said that supposedly he was supposed to testify. So if that is the case, is it that Luigi was hired? Right? And why? And why him? If that is the case, why him? If he was hired. And remember how I said Monopoly, you got to have more players to the game. That might be one of the players that he's working with. We don't know. But all in all, I mean, I mean, is he a sleeper cell? Is he the good guy, quote unquote, leaving breadcrumbs and clues for us to find, only to be hired by Nancy Pelosi, which throws us off the whole course anyway? Making him a martyr, making him a hero in the act, and leaving all these clues. But what if she actually hired him? If she was going to get ratted out, she would benefit the most. Just a theory. Just a theory, you guys. So we don't know. We don't know. But that'll do it for this episode, you guys. Appreciate all you guys. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share the live. Share this video. And also follow me on X, which is Mav Approach. And on Instagram, follow me on Maverick Approach on Instagram. So yeah, that one was crazy. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys, again, follow me on all socials. Go to mavericapproach.com as well. And we'll see how this thing unfolds. I may be on live tomorrow. Maybe not. Definitely on Monday. And make sure you guys enjoy your weekend. Happy holidays. And make sure you question everything, because nothing is what it seems.